Let's go, Jaguar Nation. What the heck? 0-2. You would have never thunk that they would have been 0-2 to start the year. You got a really good pocket here, Trevor Lawrence. All we need you to do is get this football complete to Gabe Davis, who's open, and I don't know what that is. All right, so Amari Cooper had a very nasty drop, so the Browns had to settle for a field goal. I mean, he was wide the frick open. Love this play call, play action fake. Look at how many defenders just draws into the box. You have Brian Thomas Jr. faking like he's going to get a screen. So Trevor just has to rip this football here to Gabe Davis on the 2nd and 11. All right, so ETN obviously had the fumble last week, and they gave a lot of carries to Tank Bigsby. You get exactly what you want. Defensive end who's a contained guy decides to cut to the inside, which is dumb on a stretch play. And all 77 has to do is seal him. He threw him out the club as well. And now it's Etienne on the edge, which is one of the more deadly spots you can be in all of the NFL. And Etienne makes another safety miss. Actually, no, he doesn't. He falls forward. All right, Trevor's trying to play quick. It's 2nd and 7. I totally get what he's trying to do, okay? It's a quick out. You see the leverage of the DB, okay? He sees it really well. BTJ has got to come down with this. You got to turn your head a little bit quicker. But the ball is also behind him. Okay, this ball location isn't the absolute best right here from Trevor. Did this get deflected at the line of scrimmage? It might have, okay, and that forced this ball to go lower, and the DB just makes one hell of a play. Man, that's a spectacular INT, but he also drops it. All right. One of Trevor's best plays of the day. First off, he barely gets it off before the play clock is off. Okay? 3rd and 7. If they are playing man coverage, which is what they are doing right here, you've got to be able to tuck and run versus it, okay? And Trevor Lawrence steps up into the pocket, and he sees all this room for him to run through. Obviously, at Clemson, this was a bigger part of his identity, most notably in that Ohio State semifinal game his sophomore season. And look at all this room for him to run. And Trevor now has to make a decision. Can I actually get this football here to the pylon? And obviously, you don't want your franchise quarterback taking any kind of big hit. All right, 3rd and goal. And I've made this tweet. Please go follow me on Twitter at Carter the Power. I'm trying to get to 5,000 followers by the end of the month. Okay? The defensive players in the NFL are just too good now. They really are. Okay, so Trevor starts off looking right, and look at this center field safety right here. All right, he plays Christian Kirk. All right, so Trevor looks at Christian Kirk. He's not there. So he makes the right decision to go all the way back here to Gabe Davis on the dig. And look, Trevor actually throws with pretty good anticipation. But watch what happens here. The DB is able to put eyes on Trevor after this ball was passed, or this route was passed off to the center field safety. This DB goes off of Christian Kirk, and now he is playing Gabe Davis right here on the end breaker. I'm telling you, you'll never see a college DB do this. You just won't, okay? He's able to break off of that, and Trevor does throw this with anticipation, but Gabe Davis gets alligator arms because he sees that this DB is about to plant him, and he doesn't actually go for the ball, okay? Very interesting business decision. Conditions are getting weird in Jacksonville, okay? And every break is starting to go towards the Browns. If you get the Browns the lead, their pass rush is just too good, and this time it was actually a blitzing backer. And this ends up being a nightmare for Cam Robinson, 74, who's pulling around. He has to pull around, and now he's going up against a blitzer, okay, who's faster, who has a head start, and watch, he just throws Cam Robinson off of him. Perfect defensive call, horrible effort right here by Robinson, and no quarterback is getting out of this, okay? Doesn't help that Trevor slips on his, actually, no, he didn't slip. His foot hit the back of Etienne's foot. All right, 3rd and 10. All right, here we go. 3rd and 10. Let's see if Trevor can get the Jaguars out of this mess. You pick this blitz up perfectly, and the 3rd-level blitzer is coming through here untouched, okay? But Etienne is able to pick him up as well. You can't, actually, it's not even Etienne, it's 2, the 3rd stringer. And, man, this is really good stuff by Trevor Lawrence. It helps out that there was a DB that fell on BTJ right here. And now, guess what? It's one-on-one. If you make this guy miss, you score a tutty. Okay, so can Strange make him miss? No. A great touchdown-saving tackle. 3rd and 8, and that's why, Myles Garrett gets paid the big bucks. Okay, Cam Robinson, I mean, that's just a horrible, horrible matchup here. All right, only thing I would say about this is, for me, and this is just for me, okay, if they are blitzing over the middle every single time, it should be a shallow drag. That should be your immediate read. So, yes, you might not trust Gabe Davis in this situation as much as you trust Christian Kirk. This has to be thrown. It just has to be thrown, okay? And guess what? You could be short and still go for it on 4th down. The one thing you can't do here is take a sack, all right? So Trevor sits deep in this pocket. He's not helping out his offensive tackle all too much here either. And Myles Garrett does a Myles Garrett thing and strip sacks, and you're lucky to have the ball. So, yes, a lot of this today wasn't on Trevor, but that's on Trevor right there. All right, so because of the strip sack, it set up a difficult field goal in the elements, and the Jaguars missed it. Now, an NFL kicker should get it, and Cam Little, I think, will be a good NFL kicker. This time, play action fake. I love play action because it also helps your protection, okay? And you have a tight end blocking Myles Garrett. That's really good stuff. And Trevor decides to launch an absolute moon ball right here to Brian freaking Thomas Jr. And look at this catch. Bam, 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 bam. I do a football card show every Tuesday as a part of the NoOffSeason.com network. And we did actually a little morning show today in one of our Discords talking about how BTJ is the perfect fit for Trevor Lawrence. And that's why. All right, so really think about it. The Jaguars have not been playing well all day. That one route from BTJ gets you right back into the game because the Jaguars' red zone offense this year should be pretty good with Etienne being a good back, and he's able to fall forward. He doesn't fumble this time. It's a tutty. Over on downs, not turnover on downs, you do force a punt, right? Because Deshaun Watson's going to Deshaun Watson. 2nd and 5, good offense right here by Trevor, playing quick, all right? While there's pressure right up the middle, I mean, you just can't have this, y'all. You just can't have this, okay? Protection needs to be better. Part of that's on Trevor getting the guys aligned, but for me with my franchise quarterback, I understand you're always worried about edge pressure versus the Browns. The one thing you never want is unblocked A-gap pressure. So I want my back paying closer attention to A-gap pressure, okay? That is just unacceptable. It really, really, really is. I just don't want to hear about any design where you're allowing the DT to have unblocked A-gap pressure. Okay, so it's good on Trevor playing quick that you never want that. Never, ever, 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 ever want that. That's how separated shoulders happen, concussions, all of that. Good play by Trevor, but a worse play overall by the Jaguars. Look, I understand football's a physical sport. That's going to happen a time or two every game. I just don't want to give that to him, if that makes sense. Okay? Super Bowl, okay. Not week 2 of the season. Okay? Once again, Trevor playing quick. 1st and 10, and this is to me one of Trevor's weaknesses. Okay? It is impossible until I get the all-22 to see if anything was open deep. Okay? This protection is fine. All right? Got a max protect going on, basically. And eventually somebody does get through. Okay, you can't really do anything else if you're an offensive line. Trevor can just lock in sometimes and not feel the rush, right? There's some younger quarterbacks that can get out of this, right? Back up and do a scramble drill, do something. That's just locking in way too long for a quarterback as experienced as Trevor at this point in his career. All right, so we get the follow-up here on 2nd and 13. All right, so we get the follow-up here at 2nd and Orlando. Can Trevor make something happen here? Well, guess what? He does, okay? Really, really good quarterbacking. And, yeah, I mean, we can get into a discussion about floating in the pocket. I know there's so many different thought processes on this. And look at this ball location. Obviously, There are plenty of frustrated Evan Ingram fantasy owners out there. Hamstring injury. Backup tight ends played well. Okay, Strange had a good... All right, this is really good football. They just had a nice run with Etienne. Now the backup's in, and this is just RPO stuff. If you give Gabe Davis, that much space, throw it and see if he can make somebody miss. All right, this is a lot of space for Gabe. Can he make somebody miss? Yes, that's really, really, really good stuff. And he picks up a first down. And I don't know why this has been a big issue with the Jaguars. You've already seen this once in a film study that we've done. Guys tripping on each other. Okay, it happens a lot for the Jaguars. Going back even to the preseason with McCorkle Jones. You start off with a little trip right here between the guard and the tackle. And then you get a trip right here from Etienne in the tackle. So now he's falling down, and this allows this Browns pass rusher to just throw him down to the ground. Okay? Hate to see that. His head snaps to the turf. All right? Now, what's the major downside of this? Well, Trevor cannot step up into this now. All right? Could he have? Yes, he could have stepped up into this. But now there's a guy right in his face here. And then, of course, you got Myles Garrett coming off this end. If you're going up against Myles Garrett, you've got to be able to step up into the pocket because he can bend as well as anybody. Okay? So, while Trevor's getting hit, could this ball have been delivered to Etienne right here? Sure. Okay? Now, let's go back to here. Could this ball have been delivered to BTJ for the win here? Yes, it could have. All right? Maybe better pocket mechanics if you can step up into this while this guy's falling down. Maybe so, but Trevor's hit while he's thrown. I can't really see where he was trying to throw this football, and it's a throwaway. All right, 1st and 10. All right, so 1st and 10. You're backed up after a really good punt. Jaguars defense, after a slow start, had a better day, right? They gave up a bad explosive pass play on the last drive. So we're not doing any Jaguar defensive snaps. All right. One thing you cannot do is take a sack. You just cannot take a sack. You don't have the best pass protection in the NFL, and the Browns have a good defensive line. So just whatever you do, don't take a sack. Don't run into a sack. Don't try and run away from anyone. Just throw the freaking football. Don't even eat this. Okay, if you eat this, game is practically over. And you ate it. All right, so after the safety, guess what? You have new life. 2nd and 10. All right. Prevent defense looks to be basically in with Jacksonville having no timeouts. Remember what we talk about. When you fall on your feet, it really hurts you defensively. All right. Trevor does a good job finding Gabe Davis, who finds a soft spot in this prevent. And it's a huge, explosive gain. All right, 1st and 10. Once again, there's not going to be a whole lot of stuff deep, okay? So, Myles Garrett decides to rush to the inside, and Trevor breaks the contain and gets to running, all right? I like this decision. I understand you don't have any timeouts, but yards are hard to come by when they are sitting that far back. Once again, we don't know if anything was indeed open. So Trevor decides to run it, and he gets flipped, but he gets enough for the first down, okay? All right, 2nd and 15. Jaguars see a 3-man rush. I didn't quite understand this. Your Browns pass rush has been pretty solid all day. Now this allows Myles Garrett to basically get tripled, okay? You don't want that if you're the Browns, right? Trevor Lawrence, he can rip with time. I don't know why there's 2 receivers in the exact same spot, but there we are. BTJ gets it. That's definitely one of the more bizarre plays you'll see, and Jacksonville still has a shot. All right, Jaguar fans, I'm thinking about doing a Jaguar live show soon, and I'm going to give away a Trevor Lawrence rookie card if this video hits 5,000 views, okay? So, I say that, and I'm about to trash Trevor Lawrence. I mean, the Jaguars have 30 points through 2 games. Just for reference, the Saints with Derek Carr have 2 40-point games already this year. So, look, this Jaguar offense with a Super Bowl winning head coach and Doug Peterson is anemic. It's just not good right now. The numbers show protection. Obviously, we can blame the offensive line all you want. It eventually comes down to your quarterback, right? And I had skepticisms of Trevor Lawrence going into the season, and You guys flame me for it. I liked some of the things that I saw in the preseason. This is actually a good Hail Mary throw, all things considered. And in perfect Jaguar fashion, you have a chance to make the play, and you're not able to. Strange, who had a good day. Man, he actually did a good job getting himself back into here. Also, if for some reason this ball could have gotten to the back pylon, I don't understand why the Browns, I mean, this is some of the worst Hail Mary defense. Why do you have people right here anyway? Okay? That doesn't make any sense to me. And they left. I mean, actually, they had 4 guys beyond the goal line. All right? BTJ got open back here. All right? Still, a chance to make a play, you can't do it. Okay? It is Power Hour NFL. Boom! The Dolphins Film Studies floating in your face, and tonight we're doing steaks. Let's go.